What's up guys, my name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. We do have another episode of the Trojan Update. Hope you're all having a fantastic Wednesday morning wherever you're watching this from. We are inching closer and closer to Sunday night when we will finally see USC kick off against LSU. Not a ton of news to get into today, so just a quick little roundup this morning. If you guys are enjoying these videos though, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much, and let's get into the news. All right, so first off, we start with the team captains. They weren't announced at the Salute to Troy like they usually are. And this is pretty interesting. Instead of just having traditional captains, we're going to have game-by-game captains this year. So every week, whoever earns it is going to be the captain for that specific game. You see that this week, it's going to be Akili Arnold, Miller Moss, Easton Mascarenas Arnold, Kyron Hudson, and Jonah Monheim. Now, I'm not a fan of this really at all. I think it's good for a team to have a set-in-stone leadership council. I think it's good to have the C's on the jersey. I think it's good for those guys to come out first each and every week. To me, this just feels a little gimmicky. And just for me personally, I really don't understand why they're doing it this way. Would much prefer to just have the traditional captains. Next up, we have to talk about health. You see here from Luca Evans of the Orange County Register, Lincoln Riley said any players who've been limited at all by injury in fall camp are, quote, rolling right now. And he doesn't anticipate missing anybody for USC's first game Sunday against LSU. That's fantastic news. That's all we could have asked for coming into this game. Clean bill of health, no excuses at all for us. It's great to have guys fully back like Lake McCree, Micah Benuelos, and Carson Tabaracci, all who have been limited by injuries in the past. Next up, we have some recruiting news as 2026 5-star quarterback Ryder Lyons will be in Las Vegas Sunday for USC's season opener against LSU. Ryder is, of course, the younger brother of current USC tight end Walker Lyons, playing up there at Folsom. They just absolutely dropped the hammer on Long Beach Poly. And in that game, Ryder had one of those insane, crazy Caleb Williams-esque runs that was just phenomenal to watch. I will have it up on the screen because you guys have to see what he did in this game. It was absolutely wild. He's just simply better than everyone on the field he's out there with. Such a fun player. Cannot wait for him to finally commit to USC because it feels like it's very close to happening. Now, one thing I'm not sure of is if he's going there on his own dime, or are schools allowed to have official visitors at neutral site games? Very curious to know the answer on that. If you do happen to know it, please do drop it down below in the comments. I'd be fascinated to find that out. Next up, we have star LSU left tackle Will Campbell giving his thoughts on the game on Sunday. He says, quote, "We're not there to go to Caesar's Palace. We're there to get into a fist fight." And yeah, I've had a feeling for a while that this game is going to be very, very competitive, very contentious, very testy, violent at times. I mean, these are two big boy schools in the two big boy conferences kicking off the college football year prime time on Sunday. This isn't your run-in-the-mill Ohio State against Akron season opener. Both of these teams, the defenses especially, have a lot to prove. They're tired of being slandered, and they're going to take it out on the opposing offenses. We're going to have to match their mentality in this game. They're probably going to come into it pissed off. They've been disregarded this entire offseason just like we have. Not as much as us. We get slighted and disrespected at every single turn. We all know this. But both teams are going to be in a bad mood. It's going to be a physical game. And of course, hopefully the good guys come out on top. Next up, from Jack Smith, according to USC's game notes, new defensive coordinator Dan Lynn will coach from the sidelines during games, not from the booth. Now for me, taking on the mindset of a player here, I would much rather have my coordinator be down on the field. Things can get lost in translation when coming down from the booth. You want to have that coach on the sideline. You want to be able to look him in the eye to see exactly what he's telling you. And Danton Lynn, being a former player, he probably sees the game better from being down on the field. So this makes a lot of sense. And to finish up, we have our USC in the NFL update. For those of you that don't follow the NFL, it was roster cutdown day. You got to get down from 90 to 53. Very sad day across the league. A lot of guys losing jobs. As far as the Trojans go, let's just get the negative stuff out of the way first. Justin Dedich was cut by the Rams. Austin Jones was cut by the Commanders. Keon Bars was cut by Seattle. Solomon Byrd was cut by Houston. That one's surprising considering he was a draft pick. John Jackson was cut by the Bears. Keontae Ingram got cut by the Chiefs. Shane Lee got cut by the Chargers. Deontay Burnett got cut by Dallas. And Jarrett Kingston was cut by San Francisco, which is very surprising considering he was a 6th-round draft pick. Do expect him to end up back on that practice squad, but still very unfortunate for him. In some other news, Brendan Rice did make the initial Chargers 53-man roster. A lot of moving pieces though. We'll be curious to see if he maintains that spot. And of course, very sad, but while Taj Washington is still technically on the Miami Dolphins roster, he did stay in a season-ending injury, and he is on IR, and that will end his rookie year. Heartbreaks for Taj, one of my all-time favorite Trojans. But yeah, very much looking forward to what Caleb does with Chicago, what Kalen does with Houston. A lot of fun Trojans in the league this year. And I do plan on talking about them during the season here on this series. Alright guys, that is all the news I have for you today. If you did happen to enjoy this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for all the support. You're all awesome. And as always, take care and fight on.